What's good, YouTube? Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, back at it again today for another video for y'all. And today we're going to be talking about the Shaman. Now, this class right here, this one is probably, I don't think it's going to like bother a lot of people when I give my overall opinion on this class. More or less, I think a lot of people feel the same way that I do. Anyone that's competitive anyway. But outside of that, Shaman is a character that was released back in Season 4 with the Aramusha, and her being the strongest of the pair basically caused a downhill and uproar with the For Honor community. Basically, she got as much hate as the Centurion did when he first got out. Now, with that being said, Shaman from launch was absolutely too much. Way too much. She was way too much in the sense that her heavies did 34 damage across the board. Her bleed does a lot more damage and gained a lot more health back than it normally did. And a lot of the things that she could really do and abuse were just undoubtedly just too much for her to be in the game the way the game was at that point in time. So they had to tone her down a bit. Now, playing Shaman for about a day, it kind of got me to a point where I didn't really understand why people have so much of a hate for her. Reason being is because of the fact that I know I'm not the best assassin main, but outside of that, I really felt like with the Shaman that she has a toolkit that is really well made, and that's what we as the players need more of. We need more toolkits that have innate abilities as the fight goes on. One of the things that really makes her so, I would say balanced. One of the things that makes her balanced is the fact that one, her reflex guard is not that good, and two, her lights damage is only 15. Most of the assassins don't have 15 damage in lights. I think Orochi does now, and PK might have less damage in lights than that. But her lights, they're actually a lot slower than a lot of the other classes lights are, compared to like Shinobi, etc. And that right there lets you know automatically that because she's not a very light spammy character, granted you can spam lights with her, but you'll end up getting parried because there's a lot of animation in her lights because she has to cock back to like actually throw her weapon at you, or not throw it but attack you. And with that being said, she has the ability to cancel her dashes into a dashing attack, which is on console pretty I wouldn't say unreactable, but it's hard to react to. I don't try to parry that lunging attack. I literally try to block. Reason being is because I don't want to misjudge the timing, because that's just how it can be with Shaman. You misjudge the timing and you lose. And outside of that, she has the ability to pretty much go into her unblockable after almost anything in her entire chain. That right there in itself allows you to make people do what you want them to do. It forces people to automatically move and make a judgment call. And that's how most characters should be. The characters that don't have unblockables like Nobushi, or unblockable attacks anyway, those characters in particular, the reason why they suffer so much from neutral is because they have to use gimmicks in order for them to actually be able to get anybody to really move. Most of the characters that are like S tier or A tier and up always have things that make somebody get out of a situation or move out of a situation, in the sense that I'm going to get hit for 30 plus damage if I do not tech this, or if I do not react to this in the correct way. Now, Shaman is just one of those characters that I used to think was very broken, and then after a while, after dealing with all these other characters that came out, I realized that she is exactly what the game always should have been from the launch, like a character with a very good toolkit, with a lot of different ways to apply damage and a lot of different ways to be able to, you know, put you in situations that make you think. Now, the thing that I do find broken about her would probably be her bite. Now, her bite is basically a technique that, you know, is able to go into once you have somebody bleeding. That alone allows her to be good in not just 1v1 situations, but in 4v4s, considering there are 2 characters, rather 3, but you know, you never really see her, and that's Valkyrie on the 4v4 aspect. But 2 characters in particular, like PK and NoahC, that are very good characters to bleed someone, and it's very easy to bleed people with. There's a combination with Shaman and NoahC, or Shaman PK, that if you guard break an opponent and the NoahC throws out a bleed attack, it is a confirmed bleed. And so by that right alone, the Shaman automatically is able to go into her pounce attack, and she's able to punish you effectively. From that point forward, you legit have to understand that that combination in particular is so well done, and it has so much synergy to it that you can't not use it in a 4v4 aspect. That's why a lot of characters, but like a lot of characters don't actually have the synergy needed to be in 4s. And that's why that's why the game should be evolving in that way, that every character is able to build upon this character, and so on and so forth. Like they complement each other in a way that the game mechanics, or let's say feats wise, or just innate abilities wise, will give you the ability to actually put forth an effort of actually being able to use these characters. Now, she is a character that is basically a foundation of what the game needs to be moving towards. Even in the 4v4 aspect, they have her so well with feats, as far as traps, as far as everything goes. She has something that everyone can always use to actually put you in just crazy situations. One of the people, like Spice, used to get a lot of hate for using Shaman, and back then Shaman was a very looked down upon character. I don't know if she still is. I even find myself still complaining about Shaman from time to time. Reason being is because that she can be very annoying. She can almost be annoying to the point that you have to and I mean you legit have to just either stay away from her, or you have to really just close the distance and close the gap. You can't even try anything like when it comes to Shaman. Like like if you do, most of the time she can just dash and R2 you, which the 500 millisecond heavy, which is very, very good on an assassin. Like I think it's one of the best assassin dash moves in the entire game, because it allows you to be able to, when it gives you almost perfect IV frames, and you can pretty much whiff and beat out a lot of people's actual recovery, because it's faster than the normal recovery, like 600 milliseconds. Used to didn't be like that for everybody, but still. So I want to ask you guys in the comment section below, people on PC, people on console, like, what do you guys think of the Shaman class? Now, do you think that she is a character that should have been introduced with, like, let's say the upcoming Chinese warriors, etc.? Like, do you think she should have been released then? Because that way the game would have been more of a I think people would have been more open to the fact that they have a character that can actually do so much from neutral. And again, back to her bleed too. I personally think that the bleed where she lunges at people, and the way she can actually catch people, etc. I don't think that should have been something she can do from just in a regular game mode, because of the fact that in 4s, if someone gets caught with a bleed and they got a bunch of other people around them, they're pretty much dead. Like, there is no getting up after that. Like, they try to make it to where you can do it, like they change the timing where you can pop revenge out of it, but if they time it well enough, you're dead. It's not fair to a lot of people that actually play the game the way they do, but more or less it just has to be more centered and more balanced around the fact that characters like that, these need to be feats, not more or less they need to be for actual moves from neutral, or moves in their toolkit. If so, they need to give it to everybody. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, please drop your comments in the comment section below. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. Thank you all for coming out here today. But this has been Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC. Signing out until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love to you all. Deuces.